China underwent the most significant transformation and expansion phases over the past decade, thanks to its large population and fast economy development. Total beauty and personal care market in China stood near $24 billion in 2010, which is nearly triple the size the market was over 10 years ago. However, as the world's fourth largest beauty and personal care market, behind the US, Japan, and Brazil, consumer per capita spending in China at $18 in 2010 was low even when compared to the other hot emerging markets like Brazil, which has registered $192 per capita spending for the same year. The development of China's beauty and personal care industry is at a very low level, and the market is far from saturation. The rapid development of the economy in China has significantly increased the consumer disposable income level over the past 5 years. And consumers' per household disposable income had been almost doubled over the past 5 years. The expansion of the middle class people in China has never been so fast like today. According to Euromonitor International's Countries and Consumers database, consumers with disposable income level of between $5,000 and $15,000 stood at 153 million in 2010, which is nearly triple the size it had only 5 years ago. Middle-class consumers in China are unusually young as compared to those in the most developed markets, whose highest earners often tend to be middle-aged. Higher-paying jobs often require higher qualifications and trainings than what older generations have achieved, which means that the wealthiest middle-class consumers in China are aged between 25 to 44 years old, rather than 45 to 54 years old as seen in the US, for example. This group of consumers in China expect a better shopping experience and higher product quality as well, and they are often more brand conscious and less price sensitive. When we're talking about the companies and players in China, international companies and brands dominate China's beauty and personal care market. Thanks to their superior marketing abilities and their refined supply chains. There is only one local players ranked within the top 10, which is Shanghai Jiahua, with less than 2% value shares in 2010. Despite the dominance of the international companies and brands in China, there are some local players have significantly increased their value shares in recent years by tapping into the upcoming natural and herbal positioned products, benefiting from the nation's long practicing of traditional Chinese medicine. Examples of this include Herbalist by Shanghai Jiahua and InnoHerb by Shanghai InnoHerb Company, growing by a compounded annual growth rates of 40% and 60% respectively between 2005 and 2010, promoting better knowledge on the herbs benefits and emphasizing the local ingredients. In addition to focus on the herbal and natural position of products, local companies are starting to make a concerted effort in recent years to try to promote the traditional heritage of Chinese brands, just to fight for a larger share in the China's beauty and personal care market. At the lower end, we've witnessed the brand Xie Fu Chun, which was reintroduced by the Yangzhou Xie Fu Chun company to target at the lower end of the consumers from the interior China. Xie Fu Chun is reputedly the oldest beauty brand in China and was used exclusively by the royal families in old times. And by contrast, the Shanghai Jiahua has adopted a similar tactic to target, however, the higher end of consumers in the more affluent regions by reintroducing the Shanghai Vive brand, which heritage dates back to 1898 when it was only used by the noble classes.